George, well then I guess we start with that amazing win away at Leicester last weekend, and like you said in the week, it's obviously it's always tough to go up to Leicester, isn't it? So how pleased were you with that?
Yeah, really pleased. I mean, it is really tough to go to Welford Road. You know, their defence, particularly up there, is pretty outstanding. So, you know, I'm really pleased with the result, but I'm really pleased with the resilience the boys showed in the game. You know, we led the game for the most part, and then with 10 minutes to go, obviously Leicester got ahead, but boys, you know, stuck on task, and Steve got a brilliant try at the end. So I think the resilience shown, the character, the way they took the game to Leicester up there, I was really pleased with.
Yeah, you mentioned the way they took the game to Leicester. Obviously, some great tries scored, and that must have been really pleasing. And the fact you've been building on that the last few weeks as well.
Yeah, I think, you know, you can see our attacking game is clicking and going really well. But I also thought the balance, you know, Santi was brilliant at 10, the way he managed the game, Steve as well. You know, and I thought, you know, particularly the back row with Zach, Rue, Clem getting us on the front foot, there was just a really good balance to the game. And a couple of areas, you know, that weren't so great, but I thought the way Santi managed us through and put us in the right areas, and the boys back themselves in those moments. And you know, sometimes they don't come off, but more than often they do. And I think again, the way they stayed on task was brilliant.
And ultimately, obviously, going behind in the final stages to come back out with that last-minute try, it took a lot of mental resilience, didn't it, to come back?
Yeah, it did. I mean, you know, that's tough in any game. I think away at Leicester, you know, with that crowd, the crowd was quite quiet for the first half, and then, you know, that last sort of 10 minutes, it came to life, and it was loud, and momentum was very much against you. But yeah, again, the resilience of the boys to back themselves, know they can win the game, and just to attack it, you know, is testament to the lads.
And the pockets of Gloucester fans there were certainly making themselves heard in the closing stages of that game, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and after the final whistle. So there was definitely some Gloucester fans enjoying themselves up there. And you know, I know we were deemed underdogs before the game, but you know, I thought the lads did the shirt proud.
Looking forward to this weekend then. Bristol coming to Kingsholm, obviously always a tough team to play against as well.
Yeah, look, we always have tough games with Bristol, and they obviously had a great result on the weekend as well, and have come out firing from the break. So you know, we know the threats Bristol present. We've seen that firsthand this year already. So you know, they're definitely not to be underestimated, and they look very good against Northampton on the weekend. So lots of work to do there. You know, they're very strong across the board. You know, they move the ball very well. Obviously, they've got a very strong attack. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Yeah,
like you say, Bristol often praised for their attack. So is there some different work-ons than perhaps the Leicester game last week?
No, yeah, I mean, they definitely, obviously they play a different game to Leicester. You know, there's not as much kicking, but their set piece is very good, Bristol as well. You know, it's not to be underestimated, their set piece. And you know, they're not just an out-and-out attack, but obviously they do play wide to wide, and they're very good at it. So there's lots you've got to be concerned about when you play Bristol, and lots of things you've got to focus on. But as ever, the biggest focus will always be on us and our game. And as I said last week, going to Leicester, we feel if we, you know, impose our game, we put ourselves in a good position against anybody. So that's the more focus is on us.
Yeah, and obviously over the last few weeks as well, there must be a lot of confidence within the group that when you do inflict your game on the opposition, that you can come away with those big results.
Yeah, I do. I think we know what we stand for, and we know what we're trying to do. And again, you know, like I say, the bravery in the last 10 minutes, particularly up at Welford Road, shows that. But you will get stressed in different ways. Bristol will stress us in a different way to what Leicester did last week. So that's the challenge, really, is when those different stresses